Hey there and welcome. So, you've probably looked at the whole world of Bitcoin and thought, man, that feels like some exclusive club I can't get into, right? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on all that. We're going to talk about how a simple €50 investment can actually be your ticket to really getting the crypto market. So, let's dive right in. I mean, this is the question, isn't it? It's on pretty much everyone's mind. You see those crazy headlines about Bitcoin's price, and it's so easy to just assume you need, I don't know, thousands and thousands just to get a seat at the table. But is that really the whole story? Let's unpack that a little. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about what keeps most people on the sidelines. We're calling it the Bitcoin barrier. And really, it's just this mix of things, you know? It feels super complex, it seems like a huge financial risk, and honestly, there's a pretty healthy dose of intimidation in there too. And look, that perception is totally understandable. The crypto market is always painted as this wild, high stakes casino where you could lose your shirt in a heartbeat. It feels like this world built for Wall Street wizards, you know? Not for the rest of us, just trying to figure something new out. But what if I told you there's a way to sneak past that barrier? A really simple, totally accessible entry point that lets you learn the ropes without taking on some crazy risk. And it all starts with a number you probably wouldn't expect. Yep, €50, that's it. We're not talking about getting rich quick or anything like that, not at all. Think of this more like your tuition fee for Crypto 101. It's a super manageable, really low risk way to start learning from the inside out. So you're probably thinking, wait a minute, how is that even possible when a single Bitcoin costs tens of thousands? Well, the secret is something called a Satoshi. It's simple, really. Just like a euro can be broken down to 100 cents, one Bitcoin can be broken down into 100 million tiny little units. And those are called Satoshis. So your €50, it buys you a real, actual piece of the network. You become a genuine owner. All right, so you've done it. You put your €50 in. Now what? Well, my friend, this is where the real education starts. Welcome to what we're calling learning through fluctuation. Look, your €50 investment is not just going to sit there collecting dust. One day you'll check it and it might be worth 48. The next day, maybe 55. This is that famous volatility everyone talks about. But here's the key. Instead of seeing it as something scary, you get to see it for what it truly is. It's like a front row seat to a live lesson in how these digital assets actually work and how they react to things in the news, all in real time. And this is where you see the huge emotional difference. I mean, imagine for a second you had €10,000 in the market. Those swings would be absolutely nerve-wracking, right? Super stressful. But with just 50, the risk is totally capped. Any potential loss is completely manageable. So the whole experience just transforms. It goes from being stressful to being educational. You get to sit back and just watch how the market works without all that anxiety. Okay, so you're ready to learn from all this up and down movement, but how do you actually navigate it without getting scared and jumping ship? Well, you need a strategy, and we're calling this one the Patience Playbook. The absolute most important thing here is to think long term. This is not about day trading to make a quick buck. So step one, adopt a buy and hold view. That just means you're in it for the long haul to learn, not to flip it tomorrow. Step two, you gotta be patient. The market's gonna do its thing, it's gonna swing. Your job is just to watch, not to panic. And finally, number three, keep an eye on those transaction fees. With a small investment, fees can really add up. So be smart about the platform you choose when you get started. Now, let's be super direct about the challenges here, because there are some. With a small investment, those transaction fees can take a much bigger bite, proportionally speaking. And a price swing, percentage-wise, it feels massive. Think about it. A €5 drop on a €50 investment, that's a 10% loss. And that is exactly why that patient, don't touch it, buy and hold strategy we just talked about is so important. All right, as we start to wrap this up, I want to shift our focus one last time. We've been talking a lot about money, right? But the real return on your €50, it isn't going to be measured in more euros. Nope. It's measured in something way more valuable. You know, this quote from the source material really just nails the whole idea. It's not just a financial thing. It's really an investment in yourself, in developing these super important skills, the discipline to just hold on when things get rocky, the ability to think about the long game, and a real-world, hands-on education in a brand new financial technology. So what's the real return on your investment here? Well, the biggest piece of the pie isn't money. It's knowledge. It's that firsthand, gut-level understanding of how this whole thing actually works. And on top of that, you're building discipline and a whole new mindset for how you approach investing in general.
And trust me, those are assets that are going to pay you back for years and years, long after that initial 50 is gone.
So it turns out that barrier to entry, it's not nearly as high as you might have thought, is it? For about the price of a couple of fancy coffees, you can literally start your own educational journey into a technology that is, without a doubt, shaping our future. So the real question isn't, am I going to get rich? The question is, what are you going to learn? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.